Hello there, welcome back to some more Final Fantasy XVI. After last episode's very long double feature where I went all through all the side quests because my brain is weird and I can't help myself. Now we're going to go back to the infirmary, mainly to speak to Joshua. And maybe Jill will be there too. We'll see. I don't know how badly wounded she is. Quite, I imagine. Right. There's some missives, there's some... Oh, a new reward. Ooh. I'll go back for them in a minute. I'm going to do this and then like 12 more side quests are going to unlock and I'm going to be like, well, let's get our reward. Hello. Desiree.
How may I help you today, client?
Faith undying. We are the shadows that quicken in the Firebird's wake, and for the shadows do serve our Lord and those who would be his wings. Wings is a swift shot.
All done?
Ragnarok. Wonderful. Beautiful weapon. Okay. Let's go to the infirmary. Hello.
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
Then what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just, I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps the prince feels the same.
Well, he was collapsed in a heap last time I saw him. The Crystalline Dominion. Nameless Slum. That's the name of it, though.
What is this place?
Don't move. Here, it's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them.
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
I don't know if this is a world where it's heavily publicised who the royalty are. Like, will everyone who's walking around besides the little girl know that's Prince Leon?
Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Or is he just like some lad to these guys?
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you coming.
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
You've seen more of the world these past 5 years than most do in a lifetime. It's a shame you never had a moment to enjoy it.
Yes, indeed, I know. I just, I've got things I need to get on with. Now, it's not quite side quests, but it is hunts. But that's more interesting, so I don't mind that. Hello. Alright. Tricephalic Terror. A caravan of traders traversing the Velcroy told me of a colossal beast they had encountered on their journey. To hear them tell it, it had the aspect of a dragon, a lion, and a scorpion all at once, so another chimera. I contested there might be naught but a mirage, a phantasm brought about by the desert heat, but the sweat which ran down their foreheads was cold, and the fear in their eyes real. Okay, so I'll find out where this chimera is in the desert, assuming the game will let me leave right now. Yeah, it will. Okay, so in the Velcroy somewhere. I'll see you when I find them. How you doing? Gorged. Rank S. Well, I've fought a level 50 dragon, so what have you got for me? Level 45.
I'll get well on this one. Stay close, Torvald.
Attack me. Trying to get you. There you go. Thank you. I almost fucking beansed it, but it's fine. How about this one? That one. Quite a lot of damage. Delta Force. Oh, it's like a... That's like... It's an after attack. Get hit by that, thanks. Die first, or will he run out of the juice first? Nice try. Just about run out. See ya. Or Calcum. There was a time when Old Calcum was so abundant, using everything around returned, whatever.
You should have picked on someone your own size.
See ya. Okay. Let's head back. Now carry on. That was a nice little break. Now we're going to continue on with the story again. Hi, Jill.
Karen says she'll provide what she can for our voyage to Ash, and has even agreed to forgo payment. Until our return, that is.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
I still say it were a compliment.
Say it all you like. It doesn't make it true. Ah, Clive, I was wondering when you'd arrive. Please tell me you've come to take our young prodigy here off my hands.
I'm not here for Mid. I need information on Ash.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens? Go on.
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion for so long? Very little is known of Ash, and the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders since the day he seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
Then tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters.
All right, if it will get you out of my hair. But interrupt me, and it's over. Understood? Barnabas Tham, the one they call the Last King. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldamark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canvas streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped, and Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Well, there was talk of progress, but now there's talk of a side quest, so we'll do that. Hello, Talia, how you doing?
Please, you're
Oh, no,
great.
she's not. This
My
is
Lord Marquis.
Yot.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled. Perhaps I might be able to help.
My lord. Yes. Perhaps you might. It's your brother. His condition continues to worsen, though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with each passing day.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the curse, but his grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased to have any real effect. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the Undying about the possibility of finding something stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found. The only problem being that the critical ingredient is exceptionally hard to come by, and our supplies are almost exhausted. Unless we can secure more soon, your brother's anguish will likely become unbearable. My lord, I know that I have no right to make demands of you. But would you help? For Joshua's sake.
For Joshua, I'd do anything.
For Joshua, anything.
Thank you, my lord.
So, what is this critical ingredient?
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract the curse. We discovered a patch near the aqueduct in Rosaria. But alas, yet more ether has erupted from the earth there recently, leaving the whole area flooded. The search continues for a new source. One that we might reach without being turned.
So it's only that you can't reach it? The stonerwort itself is unharmed by the flood?
Well, yes, but...
Then I shall go in your stead.
But, my lord...
You've yet to find another source, correct? So for now, the aqueduct is our best hope. Besides, I'm a dominant. The ether can't hurt me.
Well, if you're sure, my lord. Stonerwort is easily identified by its blood-red blooms. Search around the aqueduct, and you're sure to find some soon enough. I shall remain here and prepare the other ingredients.
Phoenix, heal thyself. I'm not sure that dominants aren't affected by the ether. I just think it's so slow that it's essentially not affected by the ether. Maybe I'm chatting shit, but that would seem more likely to me, because it's like an all-corrupting super death fog.
Run like the wind.
So, how can it not do anything to you? That doesn't seem right. It's locked off, so I need to go up here and then across this bridge and then down again.
Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stonewort. Yote mentioned blood-red petals. Just my luck. I won't be picking anything till they're gone. There's only one thing for it.
For that. Thank you.
Here it is.
For that.
Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. All right. That should do it. Let's get these back to Yotei.
Alright. I'll go back. At least this one was short as a side quest. Hello.
Yotei, I brought back all the stone and water I could find. Will this be enough?
One of the few varieties of flora capable of resisting high concentrations of ether, this herb is most often found in and around ether fluids, with a fauna that would feast on its nutritious roots or fall prey to their Akashic cousins if they don't turn themselves.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. I'm sure it will serve us until we can find another source.
I'm very glad to hear it.
You and His Grace are very much alike, you know. You think only of how you might help others, and never of the danger to yourselves.
No more than you have minding my brother. You've risked a lot for him, and I thank you for it.
I am honored that you should say so. But I beg you, my lord, do not give too much of yourself for the sake of others. We could not afford to lose you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. There we go. Right. Let's go visit the shells. Oh, Joshua! I'm also going to go see Harpocrates because I've got some more bestiary information. Or bestiary, I guess is how you say it, but I've always pronounced it bestiary. I know it's wrong, but it's just how I've always said it. Comes from the Latin besta or bestus. It's like a, it is definitely bestiary, but meh. The English language is changeable. Hello.
Otherwise. Clive, you must listen to this. Lawsman, tell him.
Do you recall when we spoke before on the divinity of Ultima? Well, it inspired me to delve deeper into the subject. And what I discovered appears to agree with the findings of His Grace.
You will recall that my quest to uncover Ultima's origins began with the mural at Phoenix Gate. But while I've always known it to be important, its secrets have heretofore eluded me. Now, however, I believe I know where to find the more complete example. One that will reveal all we seek.
Master Clive, have you ever in your travels chanced to hear of the Circle of Malleus? I would think not, if you have. But there was once a time when the faith flourished, the oldest known religion in the Twins, and though its popularity eventually waned on Storm, hints of its dogma remain embedded in more modern faiths such as the Crystalline Orthodox.
Wait, you said it waned on Storm. What of Ash?
Religious monuments are often torn down or repurposed when new faiths rise to prominence. But if no new faith arose, then perhaps the ancient temples might still stand. And so, you see now why I must accompany you to Waloed.
It would appear the past still has much to teach us, though in this case, it would not have been possible without the musings of Moss. To think that you carried a copy of my old mentor's chronicles all along. I am relieved to discover it in good hands.
I shall guard it with my life.
Joshua, if you're finished here, join me in the ale hall. I need to speak to everyone before we leave.
Right away.
I also want to speak to Harpocrates, though. Or Tomes, as the
If it
kids call
please
it.
your grace, might I one day borrow the chronicles for a short while?
Of course, Lawsman Hippocrates. You need but ask.
Can't do it yet, they're talking.
The Enterprise next. No, she didn't. She said I could.
Hello, lads.
My apologies.
By now you've all heard where we're going and why. So I won't bother you with the boring details, only the important ones. If we attempt to approach Stone here by sea, there's a good chance we'll be sighted and fall prey to the capital's artillery. So instead, we'll disembark on the southwest coast and make for Drake's Spine on foot. I say we, but it's highly likely the entirety of Ash is under the rule of Ultima. A large party would only attract unwanted attention, as well as slow our march and require supplies which may be difficult to obtain. Only Joshua and I will be going. And a scout. Preferably a good one. Gav, do you know of any?
You bet your ass I do. Might still borrow some of Lady Vivian's maps, though. Just in case, like.
Once you've dropped us off at the Shadow Coast, you need to retreat into neutral waters, fly merchant colors, and stay inconspicuous. If you sense any danger at all, you leave us behind and return to Storm.
Inconspicuous is my middle name. But like hell am I leaving anyone behind? The ship ain't going nowhere till your scurvy mugs are smiling on deck.
Jill, the Enterprise will appear a tempting target for royalists and pirates alike. You're to stop anyone boarding.
Don't worry. I'll keep the ship and her crew safe. You'll be needing passage home, after all.
But... very well.
If there are no questions, I'll see you all at the docks.
Let me know when you're leaving. I want a word before you go.
Of course.
Okay, I will, but not yet. My properties! I need to furnish you with all of my informations.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I have a few new notes that might interest you. I have quite the find for you today.
Nice.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to
almost
answer
all the people of interest, the lay of the land, almost all the bestiary, some of the mysteries.
The door to the shelves shall ever be.
I'm gonna spend hours reading all this shit. Not on camera because, you know, it's not the most interesting content in the world. But I will read it all. I will become versed in the lore. Hi Joshua, how you doing?
I am certain we will find what we seek in Ash, and learn the truth of Ultima's origins.
Okay, well, I don't know whether me speaking to Otto is going to start something, so I will stop here and see you guys next time when we speak to Otto and find out just exactly what we're going to do. See you then. Goodbye.